Jeffrey and Jessica don't read books. Jeffrey says books are too slow, so he plays video games and edges to the female characters on League of Legends. And Jessica says she gets her knowledge from TikTok, but she's still a retard. That's not real education, that's just softcore porn. Oh, it's even worse. Jessica's into book talk. The boar's manhood swelled in her hands. They could both really use the knowledge from real books to improve their lives, but they're just lazy. Adonis and Anastasia read books. Adonis reads about business and leadership and spirituality. He reads biographies of the greatest men in history and emulates them. Anastasia reads about motherhood, health, family, and religion. They use the knowledge they've gained to improve their lives, and now they live the best life ever. They're so fulfilled. Jeffrey and Jessica blame it on privilege. The first book that ever changed my life was The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. And I read that book in 2020 when I was living like the worst life ever. I was a complete Jeffrey degenerate. I would wake up, smoke weed, watch porn, play video games, eat junk food, and do nothing productive in my life. And I was just trying to figure out like what to do, what career, what business to go into. I was thinking about starting like this business or this one or this one or this one. And I was making no progress because I just couldn't choose one. But then I started to read this book, and in one of the first chapters, it talks about choosing your pain, choosing your suffering instead of the reward of what you want in life. It says that you're always going to have problems. So what problems do you want to have? And I thought that was such a fantastic mindset. So I thought about all the different business models that I was thinking of. Okay, so I'm thinking about becoming a YouTuber, I'm thinking about becoming a rapper, an animator, a coder, you know, all these different ones, dropshipping and eBay and writing ebooks. And I started to ask myself, what problems would I go through in each of these paths? Which one of these paths has the problems that I'd actually want to go through in life? Because I don't want the problems of a dropshipper and having no soul. I don't want the problems of being a day trader and then needing to be a Jew. I don't want the problems of being a coder and being a nerd. I started to think about the problems of YouTube, and I thought, okay, well, I'll probably get some people who hate me. I could deal with that. It might actually be good for my own developments. I might have some technical problems. I might record a video and the file gets corrupted and it's really annoying, but you know what? I could live with that. I might have to give up my privacy in some ways, and there might be people who recognize me on the street, and honestly, that'd be kind of nice. So this mindset that I got from this book is the reason why I went all in on YouTube, and it was completely the right choice for me. Just around 7 months after that, I hit 1,000 subscribers. A year after that, I was on like 15, 20,000. A few months after that, I hit 250,000, then 500, then 1 million, 2 million. Like I chose the right path for my life just based on what I read from this book. And that's what taught me that reading books is so valuable, because you just get these random nuggets of advice that let you be introspective and choose the right decisions for your life. It's so valuable. And so today I'm going to walk you through the 3 best new books that I've read in the last year. And all 3 I've not really mentioned before on my channel. The first book is The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. This is kind of like a spirituality book, but it is one of the best books I've read in my life. And one of the things I've learned, which is so interesting, is the source of most suffering is the mind. We know this, right? Like most of suffering is not actually what happens in the real world. It's the fact that our mind like replays events and it fixates on things that could happen, and it makes you remember things from the past, and it makes you anxious for the future. Our mind is actually the source of most suffering. So doesn't it make sense when you really think about it that such a high leverage, like high ROI activity would be to learn how to understand and control the mind? And yet most of us don't spend any time on that. We just spend all time, you know, making money, getting muscles in the gym, speaking to girls and stuff. And those things are still good, but actually any hour you spend improving your mind is 100 times the life quality of improving anything else in your life, because your perception of the world is literally just your mind, right? So this book, in one of the first chapters, does something so well. It tells you to just become aware of the thoughts in your mind, right? So it just yaps all day. Now imagine that that voice is not you, and it's not inside of you. It's your ugly, annoying roommate. And he's a separate person to you, and he literally just follows you around 24/7 and just yaps. The moment you wake up.
And so anyway, you know what happened yesterday, and remember what happened 2 weeks ago, and also remember, like, okay, so you got to make sure that you get ready, and I'm really happy for the day. Oh, I'm the best guy ever. I'm so confident. Oh, I feel like shit.
It'd just be fucking annoying. You just woke up and this fucking asshole's just yapping. You're brushing your teeth, he's yapping. You're shitting, he's yapping. You're trying to speak to a girl, he's yapping. You go to the gym, he's yapping. And the shit he he says is so not even valuable. Like, he changes his mind more than I do. Like, the advice he gives you is terrible. 99% of the time, he's literally wrong about whatever he's trying to predict. And he's like, you're having a good day, and he'll randomly like just make you watch a quick video of you getting rejected by a girl 2 weeks ago. He's a fucking asshole. If this was a separate person, would you take him seriously? Would you listen to his advice? Fuck no. You'd think that there was something seriously wrong with this fucking disturbed person, right? And yet, when the voice is inside of our mind, we take it seriously. We actually listen to it, we entertain it, we debate it, we think that it's us, but it's not us. It's just like the noise of the world. When you separate it from yourself and realize that the voice in your mind is not you, and you see it as like this external person who's like fucking ugly and just yaps all the time, you're able to look at this voice in your mind and be like, you're a fucking retard. Why would I ever listen to you? Like, you're wrong about 99% of things that you even talk about. And also, you just keep fucking yapping, and like, life would be nice if you just shut the fuck up. This is one big lesson you've got to understand. Like, this is one of the most transformative things you will do literally in your life, more than building a physique, more than making money. This is more transformative, learning to control the mind. So once you've started to create this separation of realizing that the roommate, the inner voice, just yaps useless shit all day, that's a huge step forward, because most people think that voice in their mind is themselves, and it's not. You are not the voice. You are the consciousness that is behind that hears the voice. And every time you hear the voice, if you can just try and remind yourself, you are not the voice. You are the one who hears it. You are the one who is aware of it. That will help you to take some separation between you and the voice. But the practice I like the most is honestly just laughing at it. Sometimes I'll be like, driving my bike, I'm going over to the gym, and the voice will say something stupid to me. It'll try and make me feel insecure about something, or it'll randomly give me like a sense of anxiety for something that could happen in the future, or depression for something that happened in the past. And these days I find the best remedy is almost like listening to what it says and laughing at how stupid and absurd like the monkey mind is. That's the only correct response, because ignoring it doesn't work, because it will just keep talking. Debating and engaging and actually listening to it doesn't work, because it'll just keep talking and it's not even worth listening to. The only thing you can actually do with this curse that all humans have is you can just laugh at it and just see the absurdity of the situation and just see how silly life is because of this. That one practice that we've just discussed, I promise you, will be one of the most transformative things you do in your life. Really, it's just logic. It's like anything you do that affects your mind is higher leverage than basically anything else you can spend your time on. Like, think about some of the most important things in life is like your sleep, fitness, going to the gym, okay, your finances. These things are like essential pillars of life. But the thing that is actually even more fundamental past that is just your mind. Because you can have great sleep, you can have money, but if your mind is a fucking asshole and you don't know how to control it, you're fucked. Literally, there's no point in having the money if your mind is an asshole and you're just suffering and you're just depressed all your life, right? You need to control your mind. So this is one of the most important things you could possibly do. This is why I preach so much of the mental health habits like meditation, journaling, so you can get a great understanding of your mind. The second best book that I read all year is Stolen Focus by Joanne Hari. This is a book on attention spans and why our focus is going downhill. And a lot of us know this now. It's such a normal, widespread belief now that human attention span is going down because of things like short form content and hyperstimulation. We all can admit it's actually kind of hard to focus on big tasks because your brain kind of wanders away. Especially for the older guys watching this, you can probably remember a time before smartphones when it was kind of easy to read a book or to focus on something or to watch a full movie. And now it's not, because we all go on social media for hours a day. And so this book covers that. But one of the things I like most about this book is it's written in like a story of the author trying to improve his attention span. And I love books that are like, instead of just separate chapters, it's like a long story throughout the entire book. So this is like a great book for that. So this author ends up taking like this trip away from technology where he doesn't even bring his phone with him, and he lives on like an island, and he's there for months and he really improves his attention span. But then he's being truthful. By the time he gets home, he goes on his phone, and within like a week or 2 weeks, he's just back to like normal life. He's just addicted to his phone again. When he admitted this in the book, I was like smiling, thinking, yes, like I knew that that's what would happen. A lot of us fantasize about like throwing away the laptop and the phone and just living in nature and stuff. But I promise you, the moment that you get like a phone again, the moment you get a computer again, you'll get addicted again. A lot of us have put the app lock on our phones. We've got like the extra app that locks the first app. We've made our phone black and white. A lot of us have done this, but we still end up scrolling and wasting our time. And one of the things in this book that's so interesting, which might sound weird for me to say, is he ends up saying that basically self-improvements, improving yourself, is not good enough anymore. I remember reading this and I was like, oh no, yes it is. But what he said instead was so interesting, and I actually agree with it. He said, this is no longer about yourself. This needs to be like a community, like revolution of the people against the companies, the industries that are fucking us. Is it actually like your own self-improvement anymore to stop these addictions when they are so powerful? We maybe need to hold our hands up and say, you know what? An individual human being is too weak. Even a disciplined person is too weak to stay away from these modern addictions. These software developers, these companies, these industries, they have literally gotten us in a fucking chokehold. And you can try your best in your own individual journey to, get away from the apps and try not to be addicted. But we've gotten to the point now where we probably need like bigger sanctions on these companies rather than just our own individual actions. We need to almost like revolt against the big fucking companies and tell them like, fuck you, like get your fucking hands off my throat. Like they harvest everything, all of your data. They know literally what order to show you a certain kind of content so that your average watch time on the app will be 25% more. They know the shade of red that keeps you on the app longer. They know like what type of woman you most want to fuck on a Tuesday. They know. They have gathered so much data on you that they've turned us into like the fucking fat people in WALL-E. Like we've just become consumers, just getting our energy harvested by these companies. Maybe it's time to admit that just trying to save yourself is no longer good enough, and we need like full real like government restrictions on like these softwares and these apps. Like for example, in India, TikTok is banned. And why do you think that is? I'm not too educated on the subject, but I hope it's because it's like a fucking weapon of mass destruction. It's like a weapon of subversion. It's a weapon from another country that makes your people weak. Like people see TikTok as like a silly little app. No. It's a weapon designed in a different country that has spread like a plague in the Western world, that has degraded the values of the young Western people, made them more degenerate, made them more lazy. Do you know how serious this is? If you come from a Western country like I do, we've lived in like this sort of bubble for the last 20 years. It's been safe, there's been no wars, just be careful of like the black people and the brown people, okay? But generally other than that, it's like, oh, we're all good. But there are hard times coming. And the hard times are actually here for many countries, but there are hard times coming even for the Western world. Can you imagine the Western generation that are in high school right now, where the guys and the girls have grown up with TikTok, and the guys have been watching porn since they were 6 years old. The best female role model is like Bonnie Blue. Can you imagine these people going to defend your country? Like the soy boys being drafted for World War III. Not every country is filled with weak, degenerate retards. You do know this, right? It's quite literally a war tactic to weaken another country, first by subversion, basically destroying their values of strength and family and religion. Destroy that first, subtly, like with almost poison, like sending an app that becomes very popular in their country, before going to full-blown war with them, so that they're weaker first for 10, 20, 30 years. And then when you go to war, it's fucking over for them. That's literally what's happening today. Maybe we need to admit that the average person and even the disciplined person no longer has the power to get away from these softwares and these apps and these modern addictions. That's something for us to start thinking about. I'm not sure exactly where I stand on this just yet, but it was definitely such an interesting book reading this. And I'm surprised that I was pretty convinced of what the author was saying, where he was saying like, look, self-improvement, like improving yourself is awesome, but it might not be enough anymore. We need something more extreme, because there's like hundreds of thousands of scientists that has particularly designed this app that he's addicted to be addictive. Can we blame like young Jeffrey, who's 15 years old, and he just feels FOMO if he doesn't watch the same kind of content as his friends in school, when it's him on the battlefield with a sword that's too heavy for him versus like 500,000 scientists that are literally just destroying his manhood? Is it really his fault? Like that's something we all need to start thinking about now. And the third best book that I've read all year is Never Finished by David Goggins. So this is David Goggins' second book. The first book was fucking awesome, Can't Hurt Me. This one came out ages ago, but I just didn't end up reading it up until just like a few weeks ago. And whenever I read something by David Goggins or I listen to the audiobook, I almost instantly get in that sort of like discipline mode, which I love. I end up training like twice a day and I'm so much more disciplined, and I've carried that momentum for like over a month now, which has been so nice. nice. And the book's like super interesting about his trials and tribulations after the first book ends, and he ends up going into like the new job, the new running, the illnesses and sicknesses and injuries and everything. I've actually been writing my own book since like 2022, and the format is similar to David Goggins' style, where it's like a full book on my life story and the lessons that I've learned, but it's written in like a story kind of way, which is quite nice. It's like, it's enjoyable to read, and then at the end of every chapter is like the lesson that you can take away, that you can practically implement into your life. So if you stay tuned, I'll probably end up publishing my first ever book, probably like next year, which will be fucking awesome, because I think it'll be the very similar vibe to David Goggins' books, that when you listen to my audiobook or you read it, within like a few pages, you will get that fire of discipline turn on inside of you again. I think it'll be very similar to that. So if you think that that would be cool and you'd want like a fucking real physical book from me, stay tuned, because I'll talk about it more in these videos, especially when I talk about books. Probably next year I'll end up publishing it, which will be very exciting, because look, my mission here has always been to make people disciplined. Discipline is the thing that has changed my life, or has saved my life. The fun that we were promised from pleasure, from bad habits, was a fucking scam. It was a lie. But the fun that comes from discipline is so pure. It is not like a high, it is like an elevation of your baseline happiness and fulfillment in life. It is so pure. Discipline is what has changed my life forever, and I've wanted to get as many people as possible to become disciplined. And I'm so proud of my followers who watch content like this, which is about like becoming more of a disciplined person, rather than watching brain rot, rage bait, drama, hate content, rather than watching entertainment and degenerate TV shows where the father figure is always a bumbling idiot. You are here actually watching some educational content on becoming more of a disciplined person. You should be so proud of yourself. With all of the distractions of the modern world, you choose videos like this. You should be so proud of yourself, because you're changing your life. But not only that, honestly, you're changing mine as well. When you watch these videos, you're supporting me, you're supporting my family business, and for that I am so grateful. So thank you so much for being here and watching my video. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah. By the way, no pressure, but there's a few links underneath this video that you can check out if you want to have a look at my paid programs. When you trust me enough and you feel like my free content has already changed your life, you can have a look at those.